Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. I'm so excited to be here. Welcome to another episode of the Collaboration Culture podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Winborne of Kimberly Winborne LLC. This evening, I am going to dive right in. I do not have a guest, and this evening's topic is a part of our series, Let's Talk Wealth, as we are in the second week of the new year 2023. There's a lot already happening. There's a lot financially that we just experienced as a result of the holidays, and there's a lot financially that we want to be able to achieve in 2023. So that is why we are doing the Let's Talk Wealth series in 2023. If you know of anyone who is trying to grow to a new level this year in 2023, please go on and share the broadcast. It is just me this evening. I am a certified financial education instructor. I am also a certified financial master coach. I am licensed as a financial design planner, and I call myself a win specialist after my name, Kimberly Winborne, born to win. So this evening, I am working within my wheelhouse and for the rest of the month to really give tips and also bring in guests to be able to provide the exact same, those who are also in finance and may have expertise that I do not have. So if you know somebody who needs this information, especially if you know some entrepreneurs, a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we just don't have the direction to go in many spaces, especially when it comes to our portfolio. A lot of times people are getting things on their jobs that we have to create for ourselves. And a lot of times we don't qualify for things, we get lost in the sauce. I would love to be able to also provide some financial tips this evening for those who are entrepreneurs. So, this is for everybody, families, those who are working 9 to 5s, single mothers, which was my original target audience. And for those of you who have followed me, you know that story. But please share out the broadcast. And also, where are you watching from? Are you guys in Raleigh? Are you an entrepreneur? Please say hello when you join. Put a comment in the chat. I would love to know who's here, whose business I can shout out for any of you. You know, I'm a collaborator, and you know, I love also shouting out small business owners. So if you are a business owner, please put in your business name so I can shout it out. Share it with another business owner so I can shout their business name out because I want to know you're here. So let's see. Good evening. Awesome. I absolutely love it. Kimberly Hines Winborne, Godspeed. Make sure that you allow StreamYard to show your name. And if not, if you could put that in the comments so I can shout you out. Your agent for life. Is that Brandy? I mean, is that uh 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 Lord, I'm having a brain fart. I'm having a senior moment. Bambi. Bambi, is that Bambi? Is that Bambi? If it is, say your name. All right, so let's get started. Terrell Finch. Hey, watching from LA, Los Angeles, California. Hey, yes, I guess right. Bambi, my ECSU fellow Viking. And Terrell and I went to Enlo together. So we're going to give some tips this evening. Once again, if you know of anyone who is struggling financially or just needs some new information, that is the focus this evening. We are talking wealth. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of times people say really weird things like, like, are you rich? Right? Are you financially rich? Do you have millions? Right? What makes you be able to talk wealth? I am wealthy. I am wealthy. I have the wealth to me equates to having the foundational tools in order to leave a generational inheritance. That defines wealth for me. What defines wealth for you? For those of you who are watching, what defines wealth for you? Is it that dollar amount that's in your accounts or your financial portfolio? What defines that for you? I do have a pretty decent dollar amount in my financial portfolio, but for me, wealth is that definition. And so we are talking wealth because we are talking about financial tools, financial success tools in order to leave generational inheritance, be able to transfer wealth from your generation right now to the next generation, to be able to leave benefits over bills, dollars over debt. How many of you have seen your family stripped apart as a result of someone dying and leaving a bunch of debt? I had a friend when I was younger. She had an older father and he died early. He died. And as a result, she had debt very early on in her life outside of college debt. That is taxing, right? To have to overcome that. So thank you for sharing. Viking Proud. Awesome. All right. So we're going to share some tips this evening in order to help you all and those of you who I don't know and those of you who will be sharing the broadcast, but anybody watching to help you all to win this year financially. All right, building a legacy, which definitely includes financial wealth transfer equals freedom. Absolutely. And that's another question that I like to ask in my workshops. What does financial freedom look like for you? Because for many people, it looks extremely different. And so it is important to know where you want to go based on your mindset and where you are so that we can track a path to get you there. So many people are bound by the lack of what they know, or they have been taught information that is not serving their parents, the people before them, so forth and so on. And so we are limited to what we know. But when we gain financial literacy, then we can also gain financial freedom, the tools to help us to achieve financial freedom. So as I mentioned before, certified financial education instructor, been in the financial arena since about 2013, and also did a stint in credit repair. So if anybody has any sort of questions around finance, I won't say that I know everything, but I know a lot. And whatever little bit that I know that I can share, that's what tonight is about. So one of the tips, I know it's the beginning of the year, and I know that people have dreams and goals. We've had a lot of vision board parties and all of that stuff happening, especially at the beginning of the year, resolutions and all of that. And one of the things that many people have come to me about, especially at the end of the year and the beginning of the year, is tax prep. Do you know someone who can help me prepare my taxes? Do you know someone who can help me, especially as an entrepreneur, to be able to get these write-offs right, to be able to, as the tax code changes, to get the correct strategies and all of that? So one of the tips for success financially in 2023, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, is to get, but especially as an entrepreneur, to get your protective village together. Get your protective village together. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to need a lawyer, you're going to need a certified CPA, you're going to need and or accountant, bookkeeper. You are going to need let me get my list so I don't get off track. You are going to need a lawyer, a CPA, a tax person, a tax specialist. You're going to need business insurance. You're going to need a relationship with somebody who sells business insurance. And you're going to need a relationship with a banker for those who are trying to qualify for anything, or if you're an entrepreneur. Why do you need a relationship with a banker? Well, one of the tools that I implemented early on in my career, in my life, before I was ever even an entrepreneur, I knew I wanted to have a home, right? I knew I wanted to be able to have a home one day. I knew I was going to have to stay on top of my credit in order to achieve some of the things that I wanted to achieve. I remember when I went to go get my first car after I graduated from college. Who did I go to? I went to a banker to help me through that process. And as a result, I developed so many tools and so much information to be able to grow. Sorry, y'all, I got some sinus issues going on over here. So please forgive me. I need to grab a tissue if I can. But I got some sinus issues going on. So please forgive me. It is that season. My trusty assistant here is gonna help me. Thank you. So excuse me, y'all. Okay, so yes, that is one of the steps that you need to take in 2023. You want to have a relationship with your banker. If you're an entrepreneur, you really want to have a relationship with your banker because you are going to need to be able to qualify for loans. Potentially, you may need to be able to qualify for several things. As I mentioned before, a house, you may want to get a house, you may want to get a business building, an actual building, and you may need to have that banker to guide you, and they know the ins and outs. But when you have a trusted relationship, they also begin to look out for you in a new way. I remember my banker calling me like, hey, they had my back when it came to me trying to get a house. They were like, hey, we got some new rates coming in. I know at the end of the month, come back at that time. So you want to have a relationship with a banker. You don't want to just go to the teller all the time and make your deposits and or withdrawals, the ATM relationship, but you want to actually have a relationship with a banker. So let me repeat that. Whether you're an entrepreneur or not, when looking to operate exceptionally and grow in your business, and or not looking to grow a business but looking to qualify for things or be able to build generational wealth or achieve goals within your home, you want to have insurance. So if it's a homeowner's insurance, you want to have things that protect your family. If you're a business owner, you want to add business insurance. Okay, you want to have a lawyer. If you're buying a home, you absolutely know that you need a lawyer in order to close on that house. But speaking specifically to business owners, you have intellectual property that you will need to be protected, correct? You have a lot of things that you're doing and that you're envisioning for your business and for yourself. You want to make sure to have your contracts in order, right? So you need a lawyer to help you with that. CPA, accountant, bookkeeper to keep your finances in order. Is really tough to keep up with that all on your own to be able to scale your business. You can do it in the beginning, and you should definitely be following what that bookkeeper is doing for you. But you want to have someone else to come in and see it through clear eyes. And also, they can help you develop and build. All right. So that's our first tip for the evening. If I don't say anything else, we want to be sure that our homes are protected, right? We want to be sure that our businesses are protected, right? We want to be sure that our families are protected. So getting the people in place in order to help us to do that are key. You want to get a financial advisor, but I'm going to get back to that. Okay. Next, if you're trying to qualify or build anything, home, business, whatever, you want to stay on top of checking your credit. Now, some people are obsessive about this. They're obsessive compulsive. They check their credit all the time. That can actually lead to financial anxiety. We do not want you to have financial anxiety. That is a real thing. Did you guys know that? That is a real thing. Financial anxiety, it can lead to other health issues. We do not want that. We don't want you to be anxious, but we want you to check your credit. I want you to check your credit, especially if you're trying to build it or repair it in order to qualify for things such as a new car, a house, so forth and so on, a business building or investment. If you are trying to do that and you're trying to do it aggressively, you may want, and you're trying to build aggressively, that's when you want to get on a program where you can freely check it regularly. But if you're just going through life, just trying to create some goals, achieve some things, check it annually. Annualcreditreport.com and a free credit report.com are places in which you can check your credit annually and stay on top of it. But I'm also going to go back to what I just said about a banker. If you have a banker, a relationship with a banker, they can also help you stay on top of that. One of the ways I was able to help my partner at the time to build is actually build his credit is working very closely with a banker. So Check your credit report annually if you're just trying to stay on top of your finances, making sure you're in the know with everything that's going on. You don't want to be ignorant, but if you're planning to purchase something, you're planning to do something big, purchase a building for your business, purchase a home, a new car, whatever, you want to maybe stay on top of as you're building, checking it monthly, making sure that the efforts that you're putting into that are working for you. When I used to work with my credit repair clients, I would set them up on a program in which we could go in monthly and check and see what was happening as far as our efforts. And that is a victory. It's so great when you see that your score has gone up 15 points in a month. I remember having a client one time, her score went up 100 points in 45 days. We did some aggressive things. She was ready, but her score went up 100 points in 30 to 45 days. We were like, whoa, yes. So anyway, we were able to check that regularly. All right. The next tip, be sure you understand the type of policies you have on and off the job, policies or accounts. A lot of times when I sit and I talk to my clients, they have no idea of what they have going on. When I say, hey, let's do a financial plan review, financial portfolio review, see what you have in place and what we need to implement, a strategy to build the strategy. They don't know what's going on with their policies on and off the job or accounts. So a lot of times people have a 401k, for instance, on their job, but a lot of times they don't know what is in that 401k. They may have life insurance on their job. I can ask them, so is that a permanent product or a term product? They have no idea. In most cases, it's group insurance, so it's a term product, but a lot of times they don't know, right? There's a lot of things that people do not know as far as their benefits on their job. That lack of information leaves you very vulnerable. You do not ever want to be vulnerable when it comes to building your finances, when it comes to securing your financial freedom, right? You want to know what you have going on, what is before you. So, when it comes to retirement, you may need to go to the HR department and ask them if you can get if you don't have access to, if you're not able to access it yourself, ask them, can I get a copy of what my policy includes if you've misplaced it? Or if it was in an email or something a long time ago and you don't know what happened to that email. You just knew it seemed like it sounded good because they said they were going to match something, right? But you don't know what they're matching. You don't know if it was 3 years. You don't know if you have to work there a specific amount of time. So, anyway, get the details is the point. Get the details when it comes to retirement. What about your insurance? If you were to get fired from that job, laid off, would that be able to follow you or would you lose it completely? And if you can keep it, will it jump from that group insurance rate discount to triple the amount where you can no longer afford it? One of the tips and tools that I give people is to also have plans outside of the job. And I know a lot of times people, they feel like you're just trying to sell them something. Good evening, Rhonda. They feel like you're just trying to sell them something. So I want to say something about the way I operate in my business. I don't, you can tell me no all day. What my goal is to protect you and your family, right? So if you don't buy something from me, that's fine. But I want you to protect yourself and protect your family. That's always been my goal. Whether I get any commissions or anything at all, you go to somebody else. But if you trust me, let's sit down and let's do it together. But we need to be protected, right? How many times have you heard people say, I lost everything because I lost my job, right? I no longer have insurance. I no longer have health insurance. I no longer have this or that. They didn't foresee that that was going to happen, that they were going to lose their job. We didn't foresee COVID happening, right? And a lot of that, and COVID came with a lot of layoffs. But as a result, many people lost a lot of things that they didn't plan to lose. So it's important to get this stuff outside of the job as well. And a lot of times, outside of the job, your own personal accounts, your own personal, say, insurance or financial plans, you can actually call them. And when something like COVID occurs, they can freeze your account. Like, there's a grave difference between being an advocate for yourself, having these things set up for yourself, working with a trusted agent or trusted financial designer, and and being having things on the job. No slight to any. I tell people, if you have something on your job, that's amazing, but also protect you and your family in case anything were to happen to that job. And for entrepreneurs, you can absolutely create a retirement plan, college savings plan for your children, all of these different things for yourself. You can absolutely do it. It's just getting the information. And there's also a great deal of tax benefits, which we are all looking for, right? All of the time. But there are a great deal of tax benefits and tax shelters to some of these products and platforms that many of us do not know about. So it's important to sit down with a financial advisor, a financial designer that will help you to strategically put things in place that will supply the need that your family has for financial success. All right. So you are so on point. They typically have no idea what policy and accounts. Awesome information. Thank you. Facts, education protects integrity. Yes, we have to. And unfortunately, in the financial industry, there has been a lot of activity that makes people not trust, right? Everybody is not this out to get you financial planner who you cannot not trust. If you know of somebody that knows of somebody, sometimes just that whole referral marketing sort of strategy to getting the person that you want to work with is the best idea. And so one of the reasons that I do why I do is because I know that I have created that I care. I know that I care. And I know that as a result of that, I am going to educate whether somebody works with me or not. And if I can give information that will help people to achieve the things that they need to achieve, that's enough for me. But if I can walk you strategically through it, that's even better. But unfortunately, we've had some people to lead people in the wrong way. I was telling you guys on the podcast a couple weeks ago that I had a friend reach out to me because his 70-plus-year-old mom didn't have insurance. All of a sudden, it just ended. She was thinking the whole time that it was a permanent product, but it was term and it termed out. She's 70 something years old with, some mild health things going on, nothing too major, but enough that her new policy was going to be up 3 times the amount. We don't want to get ourselves into those situations. So, this is why I do things like this. This is why I talk wealth. This is why I am in this industry. So, we don't want our grandmas and our mothers and those that we love ourselves to be in a pinch, to be in situations that we didn't protect ourselves. We didn't do the thing that we could have done instead of going out 4 or 5. Y'all know y'all be eating out, going out 4 or 5 days a week to eat out. You can put that same amount of money, that's maybe $60. Uh, y'all don't lie. You eating out about $60 a week. Anyway, some of you who are single and or working hard and you just like, I don't feel like cooking, right? You could take that same $60 a week, which is about 300 a month. Imagine putting that into a product where you can be your own bank. Y'all heard that term recently? That is a real thing. That is a real thing. You can use products, you can use these financial vehicles in order to guide your financial path, in order to be your own bank. Create a savings and emergency funds and all of that you can withdraw from, and they still grow in interest. Y'all, we need to talk more about this, but I don't have time tonight because I'm gonna get so excited. I'm gonna get completely right. I'm gonna get completely off track. Grace and peace, Deborah. How are you? Somebody mad. Okay, that makes you mad. So once you get the information, you can do more with that information. Yes, be your own bank. It's possible, but you want to make sure that you speak with somebody who guides you properly, because people will have you with the lack of information that will have you having surrender charges and all these different things that I know you may not know about, right? And you don't want that situation. You want to be in a situation where you're well educated. You can learn how to be your own bank. You can learn how you can grow wealth and create generational wealth. Do you know that a lot of these rich people out here that are transferring generational wealth, that we know their names, these big names, it was through products Did you guys know that it was through a portfolio, a division of a portfolio, through products like insurance products, right? A lot of times we think that these people are just born with money. No, they've learned the tools. They've learned how to create generational wealth through things that are even at our disposal. So we just have to get the information. All right. A lot of times people feel like it's too late. It's not too late as long as you're breathing. That's what I say. It's not too late as long as you're breathing. You might have to make some deeper sacrifices, but it's not too late as long as you're breathing. All right. Another tip: do not, oh, one of the things that I forgot to mention when you're making sure to be sure you understand the type of policies and accounts that you have on your job. You want to cover retirement, you want to cover insurance, you want to cover your also expenditures, your plans for your vision, your dreams, things like for your children and all of that, college education, any accounts you have towards that. But you also want to be sure of your income protection, which is also known as disability protection. You want to know what that entails if anything happens to you on the job. And you might want to be sure that you also have that. Well, not might. You want to be sure that you also have that off of the job, because you want to be sure of what is in that policy that may not, that if something were to happen to you, you could still get that money. There may be some limitations, right? And you want to be sure to include the things that you need. So if that thing happens to you, you can get your money. You want to be sure of how long you will get that money, and also how long it would take before you can receive it. Because oftentimes there are some stipulations where it takes 3 months or so in order to get your money, 30 days. How will that impact your family if you were to lose your income for 30 days and you were to lose a percentage of it? Because a lot of times those only come with about 60% of your income. Can anybody lose 60% of their income that is watching right now? Maybe, but you would have to definitely learn how to adjust your life. But many of us are oftentimes working paycheck to paycheck. The statistics say that that number is very high. So be sure that you know about what the disability plan includes. And if you don't have one, especially as an entrepreneur, you want to get some income protection. That's what I like to call it. All right. Don't listen to all of the unvalidated financial advisors talking talking, giving you all types of advice with no foundation, right? I think it's good to talk over finances with friends and family and so forth and so on. It's good to sit around and have these conversations, right? It's good to, I would rather sit around and talk about how I can build wealth than many things, right? But you want to be sure that the advice that you're taking is coming from someone who is giving you wisdom, who has maybe gotten a certification, an education, who has worked with clients, who is doing this daily, right? Who has expertise is the point. So, yes, talk with your friends all day. Talk with your friends. Talk about how you can strategize together, how you can build wealth groups, all of that. But get your final advice from financial advisors that know what they're talking about and have a track record. Okay. All right. We are, let's see, I got about 3 more tips I'm going to share tonight, and then that'll be it. I'll come back another time and share some more tips because I haven't gotten into debt at all. I want to break down a few things with credit and all of that, but I got some hardcore tips I wanted to share right here at the top of the year. And we're at the half hour mark. So want to get on to these last three. And also, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. All right. I see some people have joined us. Caitlin. Okay. Mo. Oh, some people tagging some people. Thank you. Somebody said I'm going in tonight. Good evening, Terrence. Good evening. Thank you for joining. And to everyone else who has joined, thank you so much. If you know of somebody that needs these financial tips, please share with them. They can catch the replay, and so they can go back and watch it from the beginning, but they can also be here right now so that they can ask any questions One of the things that I love to do is educate. I actually get an opportunity with a nonprofit every 3 months to where now they've brought me on as their main financial facilitator for their educational program. And I love it. It focuses on bold economic advocacy. And so I get to do this for that population of women to help them to overcome some of the things that they have experienced in their lives that have brought them down somewhat, and be able to give this information to help lift them up. I love it. I love it. All right. So, the next tip, think about your long term care plan or goals. That is something that many of us do not think about. Fortunately enough, some of the products and some of the design tools that I'm able to use to help people financially actually include long-term care, a long-term care plan. But how many times have you sat down and spoken with someone and asked them, your mother, your father, your auntie, or whoever, ask them, well, if anything were to happen to you, what is it that you would want to do? Would you want to get resuscitated? Would you want to be on life support? Would you want to be in hospice care? Would you want to, there are so many things. If anything were to happen to us and you couldn't take care of yourself, would you want to be in an assisted living facility? Or what sort of community would you want to be in? And then you can begin to plan that. What would you want for yourself? You can begin to plan that now. I had a client recently to say, okay, Kimberly Winborne LLC is making a comment. Now, who is that on my page? Even with small incomes, if you remain mindful of your finances in areas where others are missing their chance for a prosperous retirement, yours could be golden. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you to whoever is over there on the staff of Kimberly Winborne LLC. Okay, James Branch. Thank you. Yes. And he also has a lot of experience, somebody who I've worked with in the industry. Obviously, he's managing the page. All right. So think about your long-term care plan and goal. I was saying I had a client, single, never been married, no kids, and she's in her 40s now. Recently, we had a conversation. That's something that she really thinks about. If anything were to happen to me, my parents are aging, and I don't have a husband and I don't have any children. Where would I go? What would I do? That's real. That's real. We need to be having these conversations. Some of the other conversations that we need to be having around the table include what your burial plan is. What is it that you would want? Do you have a will? Like, do you have a will set up? And that's the stuff I'm going to talk about the next time. But these are things we need to have in place. We need to be thinking about our long term care, which was the tip. But we also need to be thinking about our future of our family that we will leave if anything were to happen to us. Will we leave them with bills or benefits? Will we leave them with debts or dollars? And then will we leave them, the family, to be broken, trying to figure out what to do with this or that? I want this, I want that. Will your passing, your death, create havoc when when you right now could put in place a plan to create peace, joy, prosperity? That's something to think about. All right. Our next tip, track your truth. Track your truth. Budget. Some people don't like that word budget. I say, let's call it track your truth. What's your truth? What are you bringing in? What's going out? Is it balancing? Simple. Track your truth. Live on and by a budget. It gives you such strength in your business and in your personal life. Track your truth. Point blank, period. Save and have an emergency fund. And like I said, there are options and tools now that you don't have to just put it in a bank and grow 0.25% interest. You can actually grow up to 13% interest, just depending on the design and the strategy that you put in place. There are so many opportunities today, y'all. You think about, we have AI. I was just talking to a friend earlier today about AI, and AI can now pretty much write papers for you and all these different things. If we are advancing in technology and all of these other spaces, don't you think we would advance in finances and financial platforms and portfolios? So what we have to do is be open to expanding in order to learn and get the information so that we can apply these tools, right? Just like the microwave has grown from the first time it was ever invented to now you can get these little mini microwaves that heat up your food, right? Now we've gone to air fryers and all these different things, just talking through advancement. We advance. And so financial tools have advanced, and there's something that will work for you. Just sit down with someone and talk that through. Track your truth. So budget, save, get an emergency fund, even if it's through a growth product that's safe. Do that first. So a lot of times people are looking at trading, right? A lot of people come to me, well, what about investments? Well, what about investments? I absolutely believe in investing in yourself, in investing, making investment decisions, sitting down with a financial advisor to go through variable options and all of that. But you want to be sure that you have a safety net first, right? Before you cast it, right? So if you're going fishing or just whatever, you want to be sure that you also have a safety net, a anchor, something to keep that boat steady should anything happen, should a storm occur before you cast the net or put out the fishing. I'm using nets because it's more graphic. So, or more visual. So track your truth by budgeting. Make sure you save. Make sure you have an emergency fund. Before seeking risk proliferation, you want to be sure to seek safety products first. You want to be sure to have the foundation together first. So I already talked about being your own bank. I mentioned that earlier. For anybody that wants more tips, tools, and information on how to do that and what that's all about, please reach out to me. And any of these other things, please reach out to me at Kimberly Winborne LLC.com. That'll take you to my email address and all of that. And I also have a Calendly link, Calendly, CALENDLY.com/Kimberly Winborne. I'll share all that stuff in just a second. Okay, and the last one for the evening, or two more. Give. Y'all gonna leave me now. Give. The law of giving and receiving. You are manifesting your action when you give. And when you give, you are basically manifesting an action. It will be given back to you. And it sounds counterintuitive or counterproductive. What I'm gonna give for if I give, I'm not gonna be able to save, budget, and all these different things. Find a charity, an organization, church, something that you really means a lot to you. I am of the faith that you tithe, but give. That is a tip this year. Really track your giving. Give and track your giving and see what happens. You can track it month to month to month. Okay. So I'm not going to stay too long there. I do want to go back to give a tip under tracking your truth. Have fun with finances. It's not all boring. It's not all like I can't do anything. It's also good time to reward yourself, right? It's also good time to get to know yourself, to get to know your family, to get to know. So I often in my workshops talk with people about doing date nights. We all love self-care, right? Many of us have gotten away from knowing and understanding ourselves. Many of us never understood finances, right? So take some time and have a date night with yourself around finances. Like really take some time. I remember when back in the day when I was single, I would come home from work, I would have a date night with myself. I would get pizza. I would get at the time a rum and coke, and I would watch the game. I was really into basketball back then, and I would sit down and I would vision build. Like I would have the game on, and I'd be thinking through my life. I'd be writing out my budget. How much did I make that week? I was waitressing at that time to get through school. How much did I make? How much is that going to go towards this, or that? I had a goal to do that no longer than 2 years so that I could go to the next stage. This is stuff that we need to do. We need to have date nights with ourselves to really is more so about sitting down and seeing where you are and understanding and writing out, where do you want to go financially? Where do you want to see yourself? What do you want for your future family or for your family right now? Envisioning it, writing it out, making a plan for it, and getting to know you and being okay with who you are all by yourself. But if you have a spouse, that is a great opportunity to build as a family. If you have children, that is a great opportunity to bring the children along. When you talk about your children being entitled or all they want is to spend money, this, and this, when you bring your children into the conversation, hey y'all, we can't do this right now because we're saving up to go to Disney World, or we're saving up for us to do this, that, or the other. They become your biggest accountability partners. But many times we keep our children separate from that information. Invite your children to the family date night. Make this about the family, about growing, not about what you were taught or what you didn't get or whatever, but be open to, this is what we're doing from here forward. Not what was done, but what we're doing so that we can grow. Implement those tools to help you grow. And I promise you, for you business owners, it's going to change so much for your life, because we have to be gone a lot, or those high level career job people who work in 80 hours a week, and who barely sleep and all that stuff. You may have to do that for a short stint, right, in order to get your finances to a specific place. Bring your children into that conversation. Hey, I sit down with my daughter all the time when I know that I'm going to have a season where I'm going hard. Hey babe, for these next 3 months I got to achieve some goals. And she's 13, but I've been doing this with her for a while. I'm really trying to achieve some goals financially. This is what I want to do. This is what I want you to do. Tell me what you want to do in this 3 months so we can have some intentional time. And then once I achieve this goal, let's do this, or that. And that's how we work things out. So she knows when I'm busy, or when I'm over here working, or I got this meeting, or I got this or that. She knows why, because I haven't left her out. This helps families to build. This helps children to not feel so entitled, and they understand the process. It also helps to expand their vision and their dreams, right? And so that's what we want for our children. We want better for them than we ever had. So bring your children into the conversation. Bring your spouse. Don't be afraid to talk about things with the person who you are married to. Like, we got to work on communication. That would make such a big difference in the family, in my opinion. I have some statistics around that I will not share right now, but some good numbers that speak to families sitting and having a conversation around their finances as a whole, and how it keeps the family structure together. Just be vulnerable, communicate. If you need some help with that, I can help you. Let's have some conversation. I also have certifications in personal development and coaching. All right. So, not counseling, but coaching. All right. Maybe counseling should be soon, as I'm getting my master's. Next and lastly, this is the best tip of them all. Get the debt detox. I wrote a book called The Debt Detox, and it has been helping several people. It's made international sales. It blows my mind that God gave me something that is really helping people internationally. And I have seen families get stronger. I have seen people get more confidence when it comes to their finances. And I need to tell folks more, and I don't. And so I slap my own hand for that. The last tip of tonight, as I wrap up, and I want to give you an opportunity to answer questions and all of that. And if there's anything that I missed, I'll go back over it too. But get the debt detox. The debt detox can be found at Kimberly Winborne LLC.com, which is right here behind me on the screen. Can you all see that? Kimberly Winborne LLC.com. You can also go there to schedule some time with me, to get on my newsletter, which I'm going to be starting very soon, to have me come and speak or facilitate, to get a consultation and strategy together, or design a plan for you and or your family when it comes to your financial future. Absolutely would love that. So KimberlyWinborneLLC.com right here on the screen. You can reach out to me. We talked a little bit last week about can we build wealth together? And I was specifically speaking with my guest about entrepreneurs and about communities coming together to build wealth. As I mentioned earlier, many people can get together and create wealth groups in order to get information and build wealth. I would love to sit down with people to speak with them about how to create that, how to do that, and how to implement that. One of the things that I really want to go to, what I really want to talk about, and I'll have to do it next time, is business owners, when you have a partnership, making sure that if anything happens to one partner, the other partner and the business is protected. A lot of times we do not put those things in place because we just don't know how. And I want to give you the information as to how. So make sure whenever you see the flyer next time, when we're talking tips to win financially in 2023, that you share it with a friend and that you're here to get this information. I'm just giving it away for free, just giving it away because I want to help. All right. Somebody said, this has made my whole heart jump from start to finish. Who is that? I want to know who that is. I appreciate you, whoever you are. Oh my goodness. And I want to go back to what James said. Even with small incomes, if you remain mindful of your finances in areas where others are missing their chance for a prosperous retirement, yours could be golden. But even just yourself, like so many people feel like because they don't have a lot of money, they can't save. They can't build. One of the things I tell my people in my workshops, because remember, you guys, I said these are women are starting over. These women are coming out of domestic violence situations a lot of times, right? These people are starting over, and sometimes it's families where you've had somebody who was addicted to gambling, addicted to playing the lottery, different things like that, and they had two incomes, but their household was shattered because of irresponsibility in finances, and they're starting over. You can never look at somebody else's grass that seems so green, right? You can never look at somebody else's situation. Do you guys know that I have worked with $1 million clients when I was doing credit repair? This was in partnership. I was working with another company. $1 million clients who had over $1 million in debt. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? These people are trying to get their credit fixed and they got $1 million. You look at people who are driving, and have $1 million and seem like they have all these businesses and all this stuff going on, and you do not know how they're crashing. Focus on what you have, what you can do with what you have. So I tell people, if you bring in just $100 a week, save $1. Start there. Let's build up to getting to that $10, that 10%. Just save $1. That's more than you saved last week. Start small and work your way to the bigger. Create that plan, create that vision, create that intention is a better word, even more than any of it. You got the goal, you got the dream, you got the vision. Now let's add intention, discipline, and commitment. And you can do anything, y'all. That's why my whole saying is that we are born to win, because we have the capacity beyond what we're living sometimes, many times, but we are capable of so much. All right, I'm not going to preach. Okay. All right. Without a roadmap for the future, we could be facing an unexpected and disastrous outcome. Yes, that roadmap, guys, remember I called that the budget. Remember I said track your truth. Come on, let's stop lying to ourselves this year so we can achieve some goals. Track your truth. Where are you? Where do you want to go? Let's get there. It's important to have plans in place if we want to reach our goals. Yes, Kimberly guessed this entire episode. So Kimberly must have been the person that said that it made her heart jump. I asked God for my next investment, debt detox. Go to KimberlyWinborneLLC.com. It's going to take you right on over to Amazon. I just had a mortgage lender maybe a month or two ago reach out to me because she's so invested in her clients that she bought 20 books from me. And for those who can't qualify right now, She's given them that book just from reaching out to her. She's given them that book to help them to get their situation in order. The debt detox covers is 30 days, and it covers security. It covers being an advocate for yourself, security measures. It covers detoxing your debt, which is actually releasing yourself from the poor financial habits that hold you back. It's not about not having debt, because there's good debt and there's bad debt. It's about changing your mindset from the consumer mindset to the investment mindset, right? So we are delaying some gratifications, not to eat beans and rice forever, but to, for a short time, think of investing. What can that do for me? What can that do for my children? And then implementing the actions, the plans in order to achieve that. So it goes into a bit of credit repair, how to do it yourself. I've created a workshop on how to do it yourself, how to fix your credit yourself. Because I got tired of doing credit repair, y'all. I did. I stopped doing credit repair a while ago. I'd rather teach you. What's the saying about you could teach a man to fish? Whatever the rest of the saying is. I want to teach. You can go fish or teach a man to fish. I want to teach people to fish, or buy the pond, as they say. You can buy the pond if you get enough information. Absolutely. Bambi, Kim, this is a blessing. Oh, thank y'all. Thank you all. Thanks, Kimberly. I love you. Who is that? I think I love you too. Y'all, okay, next time allow StreamYard to share who you are. I think some people who may be in the collaboration culture group, that's a private group. And I think maybe because if you're looking in there, I can't see it. I am going to make that group public. I'm going to change some things up so that I can see your comments. But anybody else, if you could make sure to allow StreamYard to use your Facebook, then I can see where you're reaching out from. Or you can go to YouTube and comment there, and then I'll see everything because that is public. All right, so it is 5:51. We are wrapping up. Any questions? If you have any referrals or any thoughts, any referrals from anybody who you know would need this information, send them over to KimberlyWinborneLLC.com to either get the debt detox book or to build some time out with me. Okay. And I want to share. So I cannot do the things that I do if I didn't have a team. I 100% believe in collaboration. I believe that collaboration grows our businesses exponentially. We are able to do things that we could not do alone. And so I want to shout out. Now, let me tell y'all this. Bam. Elton Benjamin, business creative. He is my brand strategy, graphic design guy. He's done my logos. He does campaigns and all of that. So I want you to reach out to Elton if you need graphics, right? If you need strategy, if you need some marketing and things like that. I brand you. Elton is amazing. I shout him out. When I saw this, I think it was yesterday that he posted it. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is fire. So if this is any indication of what you're looking at getting, you got to reach out. If you're trying to elevate and go to another level in your business, your brand is everything. So want to shout him out. He is a sponsor of the Collaboration Culture podcast, as well as Coffee and Collaborations Media. He is definitely a person who he does our graphics, but he also pours into the business. So I have to shout him out as one of our main sponsors. Then we have Digital Tour Factory. He's actually in the audience, and that is James Branch. He is a consistent supporter of Coffee and Collaborations Media. We could not do it without him. I want to shout out my team, which he is a part of, and then also the other ladies and gents on the other podcasts. We are doing some new things this year, you all. We are finally going to launch the magazine, coming out with some other surprises that I'm excited about. James wants to go ahead and tell it, but I'm going to just wait. just follow and watch. There'll be a lot of surprises for those of you who are business owners and you would like a platform to promote your business, and or you would like to create a podcast. We are actually accepting other podcasts and other ideas. And I just spoke with somebody today who will be joining the team. So I'm excited about that. And we have more sponsorship packages that will be going out as well. And then lastly, this event is coming up for the Valentine's Day season. It is for singles and it is for couples. So if you're looking for something to do around Valentine's Day, this is a live show. This is my company, the Collaboration Culture. So the Collaboration Culture has networking, it has podcasts, it has the magazine, the other things that are coming. We have a golf club for women called Who Runs the World, which will be starting back up. It's also doing networking and golf. So Date Night by Design, along with the Collaboration Culture, presents an evening with local artist Marcel Anderson, including his live band. Mark your calendar. That's going to be on February the 11th. It's sexy, soulful, and romantic. You can enjoy an elevated date night experience of fun. Oh my gosh. So that's a little bit of information coming from the Collaboration Culture and Coffee and Collaborations media side of things as we wrap up. We got to do the business of Coffee and Collaborations Media, which is an entity under Kimberly Winborne LLC. So tonight has been great. I really appreciate you all for your time and attention. I hope that this was helpful. I look forward to speaking with you. I hope that I can help you to build your platform through communications, but even more important, I hope that I can help you to build your financial wheelhouse, create a new trajectory for your financial win in 2023. I want you to look back over the year after working with me or after implementing some of the tools and things that I mentioned, and I want you to be able to do flips. I can't do a flip to save my life, but I think I would try, throw my back out or whatever I got to do to celebrate you based on the achievement that I know that you are capable of. Gosh, I'm so passionate about this. And so let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. Let's say yes to your financial win in 2023. Look out, follow Kimberly Winborne LLC, get on a newsletter. Let's get you in some workshops. Let's get you in some free consultations. Let's design your financial plan. Okay. So I'll be back with the same 2023 tips on another show. So next time we'll be right here, 5:00 p.m. Tuesday. See you then. Thank you for joining. I truly, truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you.
This has been a Coffee and Collaborations Media production.